So regarding the response times here, there's some data. These are priority, we're gonna be talking about priority 1 response times. So within the city limits, they have less than 10 minutes to make it to the call, to be within those requirements for priority 1 calls. And outside of that, the backstop exurban areas, they have less than 15 minutes to arrive, and then anywhere else in the county, they have up to 20 minutes, or less than 20 minutes. We have some of the month's data here, through April through July of this year. You'll see here in April, they had about 636 calls, and 103 of those were violations. They didn't make it to the call within those parameters. In May, kind of same thing. Let me see kind of progression here. June, July. That kind of brings us over to
Ma'am?
Yes.
You said they didn't make it in time?
Yes.
That's what the violation was?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
They didn't make it within the parameters. So if they were within city limits, they were not there within 10 minutes.
The response time
The response
requirements.
So with ESD 3, what we're proposing, we'll have stations throughout the county. We'll have more ambulances, so that'll leave us with our 911 calls, even regardless of priority times. Our city limits, our response times should be less than 8 minutes. All other in the county should be less than 15. And many areas within the county will have under 10-minute response times. Which this would be within the national average for the EMS response times according to the National Journal of Emergency Medical Services and the National NFPA standards.
Ms. Peck,
Yes.
on those required response times, what happens if Acadian does not meet those response times?
If they don't, they are fined, and I believe the maximum fine is $4,000 a month.
And I can, sorry guys, my name is Zach Cabinet. I'm a paramedic first responder out here as well. So I know a little bit of information. I can try to answer some questions at the end for you, but she did say it maxes out at 4,000. I don't know the exact number of what the fees are, but each month, they once they hit 4,000, they're not fined anymore. So if they hit 4,000 at, let's say, the 103 response times, right? If they have 30 more responses that they're late for, they don't pay anything. They only get billed up to
within that
4,000. Correct, exactly.
Do
And
they record them?
they are recorded, I believe, so I don't know exactly where to get those, but basically the main point I was saying was each month, at least for those, April through July, they've hit over 4,000 in fines. So they've maxed out in all of those months specifically.
And those fines get added to the bills.
Exactly, correct.
So what's the point of fining them?
When they're maxed out at 4,000, there's
So
no
that's-
incentive for them to improve their response times after the 4,000.
But those bills go to the insurance companies, and the insurance companies really wind up paying it.
Exactly.
So what's the point?
So, yeah, so there's no incentive for them to make the time.
Because they keep hitting their max at 4,000, so there's no,
So that's per month.
correct.
And you did say that that's with just 3 ambulances, right?
Four.
Four ambulances.
Four ambulances.
For all of Bastrop County.
Yeah, there's one in Elgin, one in Smithville, one out in Cedar Creek, and one in Bastrop.
Yeah, I can tell you that they had to come out for me last month.